In the U.S. alone, 1 out of 10 Americans at the age of 60 and over go through some kind of abuse and neglect. Through this, everyone in this room knows of somebody who has an elderly relative or knows of someone who's of that age. And there's at least 20 of us in here, so at least 2 people will be going through that right now. So when you think about it, if we're lucky enough to reach that age, at least 2 of us in this room will be going through some kind of form of abuse or neglect. So I pertain to this because I have experienced it myself as to where my grandmother was, I would say, financially abused. It was mainly through her daughters, which were my aunts, that would take money away from her. She would make $3,000 every month, and nearly, I would say 2/3 of it would disappear by the end of 2 weeks that she's gotten it. And so that's how I relate to it, because I've seen it, I've witnessed it, and to this day, because I work where I work with elderly people, I still see that form of abuse. And so now, I'm hoping to persuade you guys to help prevent this situation by knowing the problem, to know the causes, and also to understand that there are solutions into preventing this problem. So let's go first to the problems. Let's know more about elderly abuse and neglect. So elderly abuse and neglect is, first and foremost, it's abuse. We all know that. It's abuse. No matter what the age limit is, it's abuse. So there are different types of forms, let's say. It's physical, emotional, verbal, and also, as I mentioned before, financial. There's 2 examples for which in this physical is, one is, let's go back. According to the associations, American Psychological Associations, any person at this age who goes through that kind of abuse has developed either depression or some type of psychological disorder, or can perhaps get both. So one form of abuse, which is the physical that I'm about to explain to you right now, was in LA Times from the Associated Press, that that a daughter was arrested for literally, how would I say, neglect or abuse, or just, it was basically, cops found her mother covered in feces and urine. So she was arrested, charged for that, and right now she's just probably in jail. So then the next step, there's the next, and that's the thing too, that's by family. So that's by family. So then the next one is by Robert Federicci. A retirement home worker was caught torturing an elderly person and was charged for torture, was charged for, basically he was dehumanizing this person because of God knows what he was thinking at the time. So now that we have discussed a little bit about what we know a little bit more about elderly abuse and neglect, let us turn to the causes. So there's no really absolute reason why this happens or why it occurs, but according to a website, Legal Info, it says, while not all inclusive list of reasons for why elder abuse occurs, few factors attribute to it include family situations, caregiver problems, and cultural issues. So this part right here, family situations, it's one of the top 3 reasons, or one of the top 3 people that make this happen, that allow this to happen, because they feel like they can take advantage of the relative because they're not functional, because they're not verbal, or they don't move at all, or they just basically they threaten them. And that's what the leading cause is, because they feel they have that power over that individual. So then the next is the caregiver. Caregiver, we all go through stress. Their reason is they go through stress. And stress is one of the leading causes of why these people commit these actions to their relatives or to their clients or to whoever it may be who is over the age of 60. And next off, we have to cultural issues. So I can't express this enough that we are the ones that portray them as weak, as a waste of space. We take for granted for them. We basically just don't believe that they should be on this earth anymore. And so the reason is that we're showing our kids this, so that means we're showing them no respect for these elderly people, no, proper, love, and no proper fair treatment at all, just because they're older, just because apparently we think that they're a waste of space. And that's not all true. That is definitely not true, because these people are basically, they have allowed us to have a future. They have allowed us to be here to this day. And for the most part, I think all of our relatives have some kind of major impact in our lives. And I think we can all agree to that. So now that I've discussed the little bit about the problem and the causes, and now let's turn to solutions. So solutions, first and foremost, we must accept that this is an abuse. It's no different. It's an abuse. We have to recognize that it is, in fact, a situation and a problem. And other solutions we can go to are education, communication, counseling, and and communication. And counseling. So the first off we have is the listening. So we must listen to our elders. We must listen to them. We must hear them out, even if we gotta see some kind of sign. We have to recognize it, and then next off we have to communicate with them. Let's communicate with them. Keep communicating, and then after we have to see what kind of help we can give them. So then these are just some of the solutions that we can do. Always look for signs. Always hear them out, and always be willing to help them to know what is occurring at the time. So now that we have discussed the problem, the causes, and solutions, let's now go to that you guys know a little bit more about this situation. You guys know some of it, and I hope you guys will understand that we must prevent this, that we need to stop this, because these elderly people are our families, are our people. And to end it off, we're going to reach that age one day, and I'm pretty sure none of us want to be going through that at all.